Part three, Black Girl, Jam or Scam. This one is about the participants and the controversy. Here we go. I watched 5 YouTubers talk about their experiences vending as artists in the Black Girl Art Show. And they were from a variety of cities, and each one had kind of the same positive feedback. They said the best things about participating in the show were all the people they got to meet and expose their artwork to, seeing a ton of amazing art, and being in the extravagant presence of Black women. The most successful sales came from price points between $16 and $35 of merchandise like stickers, keychains, coloring books, canvas bags, t-shirts, and paint kits. Original art selling at prices over a couple $100s, though, was not widely sold. But let's think about why. Let's kind of look at what's going on economically. Well, in 2025, last year, 318,000 Black women lost their jobs. Under the Trump administration, the sweeping budget cuts to the public sector wiped out jobs primarily held by Black women, and they have not been welcomed back to the workforce since. This loss of employment has caused the national GDP to shrink by 2%, or $37 billion, according to economists. Black women have suffered a great financial loss, but the ripple effects will eventually be felt by everyone. According to the 2023 US Census, before the 300,000 plus job cuts, the average income of African American women in America was just $46,788, with only 43% of them working full-time year-round. 35% of all Black women over the age of 16 earned no income. And 49% of us have never been married, meaning we do not have the benefit of sharing our expenses with a husband. The Gender Wage Gap Report, released in March 2025 by the New York State Department of Labor, also found that Black women earn 67 cents, respectively, for every dollar earned by a white non-Hispanic man. So Black women earn less despite how much they're willing to spend. Perhaps if the Black Girl Art Show had lower costs to vend and less pricey tickets to attend compared to white art fairs, it would have been a tangible way of demonstrating and understanding for Black women's general economic status. But if anything, the artists and the guests are paying more. See, I recently attended the Affordable Art Fair on Thursday, March 28th, just last week. The founder, Will Ramsey, a British entrepreneur, had the vision to challenge the snooty reputation of the art market and make it easier for people to buy original paintings, sculptures, and photographs. The Affordable Art Fair's premise is to demystify art and bring it to the attention of people who didn't know that art could be relevant to them. The fair lasts 5 whole days and has a track record of providing over 1.5 million pounds, like British money, to fresh art graduates in the form of free standing space and running free sessions for exhibitors to prepare them for the Affordable Art Show. So this show donates to make sure that not only the artwork can be accessible at prices that everyday people can afford, but also helps emerging artists to take on the opportunity by giving them free space within the fair. In my case, I didn't even have to pay for a ticket. So they said if you bring art supplies today, a donation, you can get in for free. So have some paints and let's see what happens. So that is so cool. Material for the arts? Oh, great. We brought you some art supplies for a ticket.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got my ticket here. They had a special where if you donated an art supply, you could get in free on one day from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I took advantage of that deal. But even if I didn't, the tickets were less than $40. And in the 2 hours that I was there, I saw plenty of people buying paintings right off the walls. The art was priced between $100 and $12,000. But no one was selling trinkets like buttons and stickers and pins. The attendees were art enthusiasts. They were all ethnicities, all ages, all walks of life represented in both the art and in the visitors. And the guests were engaged and talking with the artists and the galleries and studying the art closely. The energy was calm yet exciting, and there were some really beautiful and imaginative works on display. So, comparing the affordable art fair, which has been around since 1999, and the Black Girl Art Show, it just gives me another reason why I've been kind of turned off by the latter. I mean, with the Black Girl Art Show, you have a young Black man and his incredible story of overcoming the odds to build a career by creating spaces for Black talent. And now he's moved up to this position where, in my opinion, it's starting to look like greed is taking over. Because why are the ticket prices so high? I mean, how much will the attendees really get to spend with the vendors if the venue is going to be jam packed? People are going to be on top of each other, and the guests already had to spend $60 just to get in. And then on top of that, the Black Girl Art Show is selling the exact same kind of merch, creating a conflict of interest because it's clear that items like t-shirts, pins, bags, stuff like that are the main things that artists are going to sell in order to attempt to break even after starting out in debt with as much as $1,000 in the hole just to participate in the show. And let me be clear. I can guarantee that even though Joshua Love calls himself a curator, he's using the term loosely because a true curator would not allow artists to show the same exact type of imagery. A curator would be highly selective to showcase a variety of subject matter, style, perspective, and voice, and would make sure that each artist contributes something different to decrease the level of competition. Now, some might say, why are you looking for problems with the Black Girl Art Show? I mean, who else is creating a space specifically for Black women to be centered, especially when historically the white art world has only permitted a handful of them to exist in their space? I mean, no one is forcing these Black girl artists to be vendors. No one's forcing them to buy tickets, even if they're struggling financially. They are still paying, right? The booths are sold out, right? Attendees love the show, right? Well, my response is that putting the label Black girl isn't adequate or applause worthy on its own because the issue for artists isn't just about being permitted into spaces. It's about having access to economic opportunities to sell their art at higher prices to audiences who have the capital and the appreciation for art. If artists are paying to vend at the Black Girl Art Show in order to receive the same benefits they would in the exclusive art world, but end up in a flea market scenario, peddling miniaturized reproductions of their originals at low prices, there is a huge flaw. If most vendors end up leaving the art show in debt because the execution of this supposed opportunity fell short in how it operated, then there is a need to expose these facts. When you title a show leading with Black Girl, it lends the question, who are you talking to? Who do you think is really going to show up? Black women, of course, but does this title also discourage other groups from coming? People who would come for art, if it was positioned without the identity politics so blatantly in the label. And if Black women comprise the population with the lowest incomes in America, how likely is it that they will be able to spend on the level of which artists aspire to sell? I mean, who's really profiting from making Black girl the beacon call? Is it the artist, the attendees, or the event organizer? These are the reasons why I'm investigating the Black Girl Art Show. I'm not trying to come for Joshua Love, but I am here to reveal if participating in this show is a sound business decision for artists, because that's what the School of Creative Hustle is. Giving the insight and knowledge that most artists cannot get anywhere else about how to properly conduct themselves as business people. And I presume that the target vendors for the Black Girl Art Show are amateur and self-taught creators who want the validation of being seen as real artists. They may not have extensive experience vending at large trade shows, and they may not know that much about conventional art fairs. They probably did not consider that they might be one of several artists displaying thematic work about Black women's hair. I mean, I am prepared to see an overkill of paintings of Black women with braids and afros and locks and barrettes and bobos and 3D objects glued onto 2D renderings of a Black woman's head. I mean, sometimes that downgrades the piece into the realm of an after school arts and craft project instead of making it look like fine art. I bet I'm going to see 50 paintings of Black women painted only up to the neck with their head in a side profile like this or like this, wearing a head wrap or butterfly wings or grills or lying nude with their butt cheeks showing or curled up with their the hands wrapped around their knees. I mean, I just imagine there's going to be a ton of cliche art, AI derived art, remakes of album covers or commercial ads, and art painted from the same Pinterest photos. I know this might sound harsh, but social media has created a performative nature to art making and an echo chamber about what is acceptable. And too many Black artists are stuck painting the same things as each other, and none of it is necessarily original or inspiring. Also, there has been some controversy about how the Black Girl Art Show, an art show which highly profits off Black artists, is using AI generated imagery to promote the show instead of paying the artist it depends on to create artwork for marketing.
All right, so I might get in trouble for this because mad people that lurk on my page, and I know people that are personally connected to this organization, but I do feel the need to call this out. Why is the Black Boy and Black Girl Art Show using AI generated imagery and animations to promote these events? They're events that are so massive and so big that it generates so much income for them to do it all over the place to make money off the backs of these artists. When you use generative AI, that signifies to me that you don't care. You don't have a budget, and you don't care about artistry, you don't care about artists, because otherwise you would have hired people to make the promotional materials from jump. Generative AI is harmful to the environment, and it's making people lose jobs. The industry is suffering because of generative AI. So why is nobody talking about it? Why am I the only one bringing it up? I feel like I haven't seen anybody say anything about it. And it's really strange. Is it because we don't want to talk bad about our fellow Black people, our fellow Black artists? Or what's good? What's good? It's wrong. At the end of the day, it's wrong. No one should be using that.
I mean, there's even proof that a Black Girl Art Show ad used a stolen photo from a photographer to generate an AI image in promotion of a 2025 Chicago show. Zay Monet, a talented and popular African American woman photographer, shared a post on her social media calling out the Black Girl Art Show. In the post, she placed a photographic portrait she took side by side an AI generated ad, which looked almost the same as her work. Zay Monet came across the knockoff promo, which was circulating on TikTok promoting the Chicago Black Girl Art Show. And in her social media post, she raised a valid critique that while she does support Black art platforms, There are better ways of going about using AI in people's likeness, and that it's not cool to do it without their consent. Further, when the community brought this issue up on the Black Girl Art Show social media page, Joshua Love's team deleted the comments, giving the impression that they refused to be accountable or apologize. Another person, claiming to be in the inner circle of the organizer, dropped this shocking statement in a comment on YouTube about Joshua Love. He says, "Trust me, from someone that worked with him at the beginning, he said out of his own mouth, he only do woman art shows because he knew it would make him the most money. And he treated all of the women that worked for him for little to almost free like crap." That's the end quote. Let that sink in. So, while there is a huge amount of love and praise for the Black Girl art shows, there is some legitimate critique that has to be acknowledged. So, that concludes my findings, my discovery research, and my pre show predictions. I've presented everything I could provide to provide a backdrop of the Black Girl Art Show, and I look forward to attending. I did purchase a ticket, and mine cost me $60.43. I intend to be there early to get a spot online, and I plan to pack snacks in case I can't re enter if I leave. I want to witness the entire 6 hours of this event from beginning to end, record, observe, and interview people, and then report back and let you know what I find with real concrete evidence of what this experience is like. So, in closing, I'd like to leave you with the question again: Black Girl Art Show, a jam or a scam? Share your predictions, your thoughts, your comments in the section below, and I will address them in my recap video. And if you appreciate my investigative research, please feel free to leave me a tip on my Cash App. It is $Rich Painter Chick, which is also my Instagram, Rich Painter Chick. And consider subscribing to the School of Creative Hustle on Patreon, teaching the business between art and business. I will see you all next time. Peace.